Hey LeGrand Alive, this is Coffee with Will, brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Grand Ron Hospital, Anything to Digital, EONI, Country Financial, Les Schwab, and Valley Realty. And I'm here today with May Beltran, who is a local self-starting artist, and she's here today to talk to us a little bit about her art, her inspiration, and her tips for people out there who are trying to become self-starting artists as well. So thank you so much for joining me here today, May.
You're welcome.
So why don't you first start out by telling me a little bit about how you came to your artwork?
Well, I have a background in graphic design, and I went to Art Institute in Los Angeles and Orange County. So I do have a digital background in mostly computer work and Photoshop, Illustrator, and a little bit of web. So, but when I moved here, I wanted to get into the more tactile arts, and I taught myself illustration and fine arts.
Very cool. Now, we are going to take a look a little bit about some of her artwork here. So she does, interestingly enough, she does mail artwork, which is one of the things she does. She does other stuff, which is artwork that you can actually send letters in. And we were both geeking out about our shared letter writing, passion, I guess you would call it. We both like to write letters. And so tell me, how did you get into letter art?
Well, I've always been a letter writer since I was in 4th grade. My cousin lived in Northern California, and I'm from Southern California. So we exchanged letters, and we talked about all the things that 4th graders and tweens love about school and boys and all that thing.
All the things that 4th graders and tweens love about school, really? Wow, man, when I was that age, I wanted nothing to do with school.
Oh, we were both pretty academic.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Straight A type girls. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, and so you would write letters with her?
Yes, and as I grew older, I kind of lost the pen palship with her as we got busy with our high school and all that. But I exchanged letters with passing notes in school, and we still did the artistic doodles and sliding it to our neighbors, and as I got older, I got more into letter writing with strangers. I would go on pen pal sites. There's lots of pen pal resources out there right now, and finding people of like-minded interests and just trying to get a connection via the mail.
So you enjoy letter writing with people who you've never met before in person?
Yes.
So how do you find people like that?
Through, there's a website called geekgirlpenpals.com, and I started there, and they really geek out, like Star Wars, Star Trek, all that stuff.
Wow.
But that was a little too much for me, so I kind of backed away from there, and I went on Instagram posting my mail art, and through there some people would hashtag pen pals wanted, and if they saw something or saw your Instagram feed that they were interested in, they would send you a direct message, and you would exchange information. I have a post office box, so I'm not shy about that at all. But it's something that you might be concerned about because privacy reasons, and it's online. So you might want to watch out for that. But being a post office box owner or renter, that frees it up and all the possibilities.
Sure, absolutely. I was actually going to ask you about that, how you kind of maintained that anonymity with writing letters with people who, may or may not be genial to you as a person who you contact online. So it sounds like a post office box is kind of the way you handle that.
And since I opened my business, Earth to Girl, I just wanted to make that a post office box in itself. So that kind of opened up letter writing, since I make greeting cards and stationery.
Sure, absolutely. So now, May doesn't just do mail art, however. She also does, and I'm going to set down my coffee here because I want to be able to hold these up. She also does some larger pieces of work that are, they kind of have a really vibrant color palette, and they mix some solid subjects with some more abstract backgrounds, it looks like. And some of them are, some of them, like this one that I'll show you here, are inspired by local events and those kinds of things. And this one is inspired by the Which one is this one? As well?
The Farmers Market Salsa Festival, which is this Saturday.
Which is coming up this Saturday. So if you haven't seen it, this week is going to be the Salsa Fest, Salsa Festival.
Yes,
Salsa Festival. And what I guess my question is what are your inspirations? Like how do you get inspired by things, and how do they sort of how do they turn into your art?
Well, I'm inspired a lot by my childhood was a lot of Hello Kitty and Sanrio stuff and Japanese anime. So I have a strong inspiration from that. And I also like vibrant colors. So anything that might be happening in the day-to-day or something I'm thinking about and I can work it into my art, that's basically where the inspiration starts. Now, my inspiration might be something completely different from what it comes out to be, because I do lots of research and I look for inspiration online to make sure the patterns or colors are correct or shapes. So a lot of research goes into what I actually come out with too.
Really? So it's not just, you see something and you paint it. It's like you see something, it twinges some sort of an inspiration, and then you begin the process of creation.
Yes.
So take us through your process of creation a little bit. What do you do to actually create?
So I was really inspired by this event, and this is actually my latest work. I finished it within the last week. So I was thinking salsa festival, and I love the spicy things, so I wanted to do a pepper of some sort. Also, Halloween was in my mind, so I'm thinking, how about a little devil guy? And just, it started to form in my mind, but I needed to get the shape of the pepper proportionate. So I would do the measurements on the paper and make sure it's aligned. And it's very technical at first. Once I get the sketch on with pencil on the watercolor paper, I feel confident enough to start with my watercolors. And it goes from there, and the main image first I would work on, because that needs to be there.
The crisp image, that sort of central image, which in the one is the dog and then this one is the pepper.
Yes, and then once that image is pretty much there, I start free-flowing with the background, and that is basically whatever comes to mind, whatever my hand is feeling like, and I'm thinking fiery for this one, so I'm incorporating flames in the background. And I remember, flames also have a touch of blue a little bit too, so I add that to the background in small elements. So it's just a process, and I love smaller works because my life is busy. I have children, and I like to complete something. And if I don't complete it now or within the next 3 days or so, it pretty much goes to my storage in my basement, and it never sees the light of day.
I have the same thing with poems sometimes. So they're nice because you can just sit down in a session or two and push something out, and then you can get back to your life when you get a lot of other stuff.
So when inspiration strikes, it needs to be urgent. It needs to be put on paper, and I get the creative juices flowing, and that really, I can't be interrupted. Everything can stop, and I need to get this down.
Stay out of my room. No, you can't come in here. I'm working. I totally understand.
Yes. And I'm pretty happy that I was finally able to finish a painting, because with school starting and my children getting into different activities, I haven't been able to focus on one piece of art. The mail art helps with that from day to day, and those are tiny little things I could just stick on a piece and add different elements at the same time.
Sure.
But a piece that I could say it's a painting that I could probably sell or give to someone is something that I'm proud of.
So that being said, that kind of brings up the question, as someone who has kids and also is a worker in art who creates things, how do you kind of make or find time in your day to be able to create? Because I'm sure that there are many people out there who are in similar situations like you, who have kids, who have jobs, who have whatever, but they still want to find time to exercise that part of themselves. How do you do that?
Well, it's very difficult because children obviously come first, and it's very easy to let your art or your creative hobby to just kind of be pushed to the back burners. And I emphasize that it needs to be a routine, just like exercising or eating healthy. And you can't start big. You have to start small.
Little, yeah.
And a daily thing. And if you don't do a daily thing, then you'll push it off to the next time and the next time until you don't see it anymore. So it's important to have that, set an alarm on your iPhone or what have you, and just make sure that it's in your mind in the morning, it's in your mind when you go to sleep, something that just always is there. Put a reminder, hang up a piece of art, or wear a piece of jewelry, or something that reminds you every day.
Interesting. Now, do you have pieces of jewelry like that, or like little reminders like that over the course of your day that say, oh, hey, I haven't done my art yet today?
I do have things laying around my house that remind me, and I do have an alert on my phone, and it reminds me at 9 o'clock after I finish bringing the kids to all their places. At 9 o'clock, it beeps me, and sometimes I'm just scrolling away at the internet. I'm like, okay, I need to do art. Put it down, close the windows, and
turn off the Facebook.
Yes, exactly. And then for that reason, I don't have Facebook on my phone.
Good for you. Good for you. Good decision.
I do have it on the computer, but that's my relaxing time. But once I know it's time, it's business.
Business. Art equals art. Business time.
Yes, your creativity is serious business, and you have to treat it that way.
It's not just something that you can be like, oh, like I don't really need that. It's a part of you that you should take some time for.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, cool. So, I guess my last question is if there was somebody out there who was wanting to get into their art, and to maybe make a career out of this, or something, at least somewhat lucrative, and exercise that, what would be the first tip that you would give them?
Well, you have to start somewhere. You can't start big. I mean, if you would like to and you have the resources to, yes, you can always start big. But if you don't have those resources, you might just start with a sketchbook and start daily doing your art exercises, and find a community or some close friends that you can share your art with, and just share your work. And get feedback from people and challenge yourself, because you might be shy. Usually artists are shy somehow, and it's hard to get out there. But I've challenged myself to reserve a booth at the farmer's market, and now every week I get to talk to my customers face to face.
Which is how we met, Le Grand Alive. So if you want to meet artists, local artists, go to the farmer's market. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. I think we're probably running a little short on time, but really appreciated you coming in. And thank you, Le Grand Alive. This Coffee with Will was brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Grand Ron Hospital, Anything Too Digital, EONI, Valley Realty, Country Financial, and Northwest Furniture and Mattress. I might have already said that one. But if I messed it up, then make sure to look at the logos that are at the bottom of the screen. And Les Schwab. Thank you, Brent. So please like and share the video, and tune into legrandalive.tv for more local content. I'm Will Bowman.